What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and yesterday we had a little bit of news that kind of shook everyone up a bit. Now, this is your stimulus check update and your stimulus package update, and we're going to be discussing the current status of the stimulus package and what we're going to be seeing unfold here in the next 24 hours. However, we do have a little bit of a prerequisite topic that we need to discuss, and that is that yesterday, take a look at this, Dow tumbles 700 points of its worst drop since October as investors fear pandemic resurgence. And that is the news that we had heard, that essentially this Delta variant, it could be causing us to go backwards in our fight against the pandemic. However, you can see here regarding the stock market, breaking news, Dow surges 400 points as a comeback rally gains steam this morning. However, we are hearing that there are concerns. Take a look at this article. Fauci, Walensky likely to weigh in on bringing back masks and other virus rules amid Delta spread. Here's another one. Pandemic cases spike nationwide as vaccinations slow and Delta variants spread. And what we're hearing is some of the people that are getting sick have already been vaccinated. And this Delta variant is actually breaking through those vaccinations and still causing more sickness. Now, in regards to stimulus, take a look at this one. Could the Delta variant prompt Congress to extend federal unemployment benefits? And so what we're hearing is, if this Delta variant surges, particularly come winter time when flu season hits, this could cause us to go backwards, and could we see more regulations set in place once again nationwide, and it could require more stimulus provisions for people as there could be more shutdowns. Now, I don't know. There's articles here speculating. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing has been said yet that I've heard, but I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. Now, as you guys know, that could mean essentially more stimulus if it's necessary, and we're going to be discussing the current status of the stimulus package. Now, as you guys know from yesterday's video, we had heard from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that they were going to have this ready in the next 24 hours for a vote, and this being the first portion of the infrastructure package, which is going to be traditional infrastructure for roads, bridges, highways, what you typically think. And he also wanted the entire Democratic caucus to come together and have something ready, an agreement on a proposal for a $3.5 trillion human infrastructure or stimulus package. Now, what we're hearing this morning is, take a look at this, headlines rolling out saying, infrastructure negotiations, Schumer gambles meets GOP threats. And what we're hearing is Republicans are saying that they are threatening not to pass this, not to vote on the first portion that they had an agreement on unless they have the bill ready for them to see. They said they're not going to be voting on something that they haven't even seen yet. Here's another article that came out recently. Negotiators struggle to finish infrastructure deal with the clock ticking. And here's another one that just came out. We're going to be diving into a little bit more detail on. Bipartisan infrastructure deal has no chance on Wednesday. So you guys, I'm going to dive into these articles, get you caught up on the latest as to what's unfolding right now with stimulus, some of the things that are causing people to think that we might need even more stimulus as of today, July 20th, 2021. But before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, regardless of what the news is, if you like and appreciate that I keep you up to date here on the channel, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second, smash that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. And leave your comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. And also be sure to share this out if you think it's going to help out other people with the latest news. And if this is your first time here, you want to stay up to date on all these topics, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. You can come join the viewing community, come and join the Ram fam, we like to call it. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That's the best place to reach me, and I do my best to get through all those DMs and respond to your questions. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into this article, and I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what they're saying regarding more stimulus. Alright, you guys, so as always, link in the description below to this article that just recently came out, and I always cite my sources so you know I'm not just making this stuff up. So this article says, Senate Republicans revolted on Monday against the opening debate on infrastructure while a bipartisan bill is still being written, lining up in opposition to a squeeze play by Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. And that is, as you know, yesterday he came out and said, we're going to be voting on this infrastructure bipartisan deal on Wednesday, and Republicans said, we don't even have this drafted yet, and we're not going to be voting to pass something that we have not yet even seen. Now, reading on, it says Schumer and Senate Democrats need at least 10 Republicans to agree to advance a still unwritten deal to spend nearly $600 billion on roads, bridges, and broadband during a vote expected on Wednesday. But both Republican leaders and the GOP lawmakers working on the bipartisan infrastructure package carried the same warning to Schumer, saying, we're not passing that. Now it says he's not going to get 60. Let's put it that way, said Senate Minority Whip John Thune. The legislation is not drafted. The pay-fors are a long ways away. Patience is going to be a virtue, but patience has run thin among Democrats who have watched the bipartisan talks play out for more than 3 months now. Now, Schumer scheduled the anticipated test vote Monday evening, and his deputies and Democratic members of the cross-aisle group made it clear that they wanted to move forward. It's Monday in the United States Senate. That's Wednesday. That's a long ways between then and now, said Senator Patty Murray of Washington, the number 3 Democratic leader. We need a resolution to this, and there's a lot more work to get done. Now, Senator Mark Warner, who is negotiating the bipartisan infrastructure bill, said, you gotta keep the pressure on. Now, in his floor remarks Monday evening, Schumer said that the legislation could be amended as early as Thursday if the bipartisan group finalized legislative text by then. If not, Schumer said that the Senate could begin voting on legislation that has passed infrastructure-focused committees with bipartisan support. Now, Schumer said that all 5 Democrats negotiating the bill, including Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, support his approach, and he reiterated that Wednesday's vote is part of a, quote, routine process, and that it's a sign of good faith from both sides that negotiations will continue in earnest. Now, a failed vote this week would amount to an embarrassing setback for the senators trying to clinch an agreement that already got a televised thumbs up from President Joe Biden. The group planned to meet on Monday evening and try to finish drafting legislation on a topic that's bedeviled both parties' presidents and Congress for decades. If there's no finalized deal and the procedural vote fails, senators said that they would still continue to work on the infrastructure legislation, but several Republican senators helping shape the bill said that they were agated by Schumer's tactics and warned they might vote against advancing their own efforts. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we're hearing that it's very possible that they're not going to have this done by Wednesday, and if they don't have it done, it's not going to pass. Do you think that they'll just extend the deadline out further until they can get it done, and that right now Democrats are just trying to pressure them to get it done? Do you think Republicans will revolt and this will all fall apart? And then Democrats will have to pass a massive infrastructure bill, and we've heard Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and also Senator Bernie Sanders say they're prepared to pass a $6 trillion infrastructure bill for all provisions and pass it through reconciliation on their own without GOP support. So either way, it sounds like Democrats are going to be okay with this, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, reading on, it says, we can't support closure for something that we haven't accomplished yet, said Senator Rob Portman, Republican negotiator. It is absurd to move forward with a vote on something that has not yet been formulated. Now, Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, another GOP negotiator, declined to say how she would vote Wednesday, but she added that if Schumer wanted the legislation to succeed, that he would ensure people have an opportunity to actually look at what they might be voting on. Now, Senator Mitt Romney, another negotiator, said that he'd vote no. If we are still working on major provisions of the bill and we don't have a bill in front of us, then he said he's voting no. Now, jumping down in the article, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said Monday that Republicans, quote, need to see the bill before voting to go for it. I think that's pretty understandable. Here's another quote. There's no bill. You can't expect many Republicans to move forward on a pretty vague concept, said Senator Roy Blunt. It's pretty much up to the Senate Majority Leader. If he wants to kill this bipartisan bill, insisting on a vote before there's even a bill, it is a certain way to kill the bipartisan discussions. Now, Schumer is portraying that the anticipated Wednesday vote is a step in the debate, suggesting that the group's work could continue and later be added as an amendment. And notably, Schumer telegraphed his move. He's long warned that he wants the bipartisan group's product on the floor in July. Now, if the bipartisan talks end up fully imploding, Democrats can roll the group's work into their unilateral spending bill that is still being written, with the top line price tag of $3.5 trillion currently. But that would carry its own challenges, namely keeping in line all 50 Senate Democrats, including moderates, preaching bipartisanship. So you guys, as we just mentioned just a moment ago, if this all falls apart, then they could even roll it all together into the largest massive stimulus package we have ever seen, passing it through the reconciliation process, all under the name of infrastructure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, I'm expecting that in the next 24 hours, there is going to be a lot of breaking news coming out, and I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date as we haven't even seen the official bill yet. We don't know what provisions are going to be included, amounts allocated, and that also goes for the stimulus package, the second portion of the infrastructure bill known as the American Families Plan. And we're hearing that there could be additional provisions added in or taken out. We will see what unfolds. There's currently $3.5 trillion allocated to more stimulus. However, if things fall apart with these bipartisan talks, we could see that 3.5 increase significantly. We will see what unfolds. And like I said, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. And once again, you guys, thank you for joining me here on the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a second to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can come join the RAM fam, the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff: stimulus, unemployment, Congress, the economy, taxes, all that good stuff about money. And don't forget, hit me up on Instagram at SteveRam3. And with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next video. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, guaranteed videos and random videos throughout the day as news pops up. But with that being said, hope this reaches you well. Catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.